One thing that is still a shocker for me is the credit system. Yes, guys, the credit system is something that you have to understand. I mean, as an African and a Nigerian at that, we are not raised to owe money. But in the US, you have to borrow money. It's almost like it is compulsory. Hey beautiful people, how you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by again. Please do not forget to like, subscribe and share my content. So today we're going to be talking about things to consider when you're coming to the US, because holiday in the US and living in the US are two different things. So if you're relocating from any part of the world to the US, you need to understand that there's so many things that are so different. The culture is different, the food is different, the lifestyle is different. And one thing that is still a shocker for me is the credit system. Yes, guys, the credit system is something that you have to understand. I mean, as an African and a Nigerian at that, we are not raised to owe money. But in the US, you have to borrow money. It's almost like it is compulsory. They will test you. They need to know that you're responsible. And if you decide not to, you won't be able to get like car loans or be able to get like a house and things like that, because they won't trust that you're responsible, except if you want to just pay out of pocket. That means you just want to pay full, complete on the ground, and that's it. But the way the system is structured, it's not easy to do that. So one of the things is, like I said, is the credit, and then that credit too has so many things you have to consider. Like I always say, if you want me to do details on how to maximize the use of your credit card, please do not hesitate to ask me. Basically, credit utilization has to be 30%. I do sometimes 9%, just because hey, it cannot come and be on my credit history. You don't want hard inquiries on your credit. You have to be careful about that. The credit system is so different, especially if you're coming from Africa or a country where they do not do the credit thing. Another thing that was quite was different was renting of house every month. Back in Nigeria, if you're going to rent a house or rent a property, you pay for 1 year. But in America, even though you're paying monthly, you kind of go into a contract for a year or more. So it's not like you can just opt because you're paying monthly and say, I'm not doing it again, and then you're out of the door. No, you still have to like follow the contract that you have signed. Another thing that was a shocker or is quite different is the language. Yes, thank God I'm from Nigeria and English is our official language, but you know, sometimes, like I always say, traveling back and forth and living here is so different. Sometimes over the phone, you have to like pay attention to be able to like really listen to what they're saying, you know, and then the food is different. If you want to buy African food, it's expensive. If you want to order your goat meat from Nigeria, it's so expensive. So you have to like improvise. But the truth is, there's so many amazing foods you can try. You can decide to do Mexican today, Indonesian tomorrow, Indian next tomorrow, this and that. But in Nigeria, you're not restricted to your African food. You want to do Yoruba food today, that one tomorrow, Amala next tomorrow. But here, it's so diverse. Diversity is another thing that, you know, you have to prepare yourself for. As opposed to back home, you're just used to seeing like your fellow Africans and very few foreigners. But here, it's so diverse because everywhere you go, there's a different person. There's a Nigerian, there's a Ghanaian, there's a Kenyan, there's South African, there's Ethiopian, there's Indian, there's Chinese, you know. So it's so amazing, like just the diversity in the culture. So yeah, that's something that you have to prepare for. And in this country, guys, if you don't have social security number, you can't do anything. To buy anything, social security. To do the social security. Car, the social security. This, what is your social security? Open bank account, what is your social security? So please, in everything that you do, get your social security. There are people who get like their immigrant visa from their country, but when they come, like they don't get their social security immediately and they struggle. So it's so important that you get your social security as soon as you can. For me, it was quite different because I was supposed to be shuttling back and forth. So I came in on a visa when I just came. And it was my husband who had the social security. So he was the one that had to do most of the things. And it was I felt so restricted. So if you don't want to feel restricted, just do everything that you can. Because as soon as I got my work visa, guys, I rushed. And when I even got to the social security office, I was told to wait for another 2 weeks because it could be coming in the mail and they did not want any for me to get it twice or something like that. I'm not sure what that means, but anyways, after 2 weeks, I went back to the social security office and I got my social security number. Another thing you should consider is get a driver's license. The US just is better when you have a car because, especially in a state like Texas, it's so big, guys. Get a driver's license. If you're coming in new, get the international driver's license. That way you're able to drive before you get your actual state license, so you're able to move around with ease. The US is so big, and transportation is not like the UK where you're able to just navigate getting on the train and things like that, except if you're in New York or states that have like transportation systems that are very organized. But if you're in a state like Texas, you need a car, so get a driver's license. Okay. All right, guys, I hope I have been able to mention the things that you need to be aware of before coming to the US. Thank you so much for watching. Do have a wonderful day. Bye.